Most men spend years chasing the wrong things: better looks, more money, sharper jokes, and still end up forgotten. But the men women genuinely can't stop thinking about, they all share one quiet habit that has nothing to do with any of that. 2 words. That's the entire gap between being overlooked and becoming unforgettable. And once you understand exactly how they work inside a woman's mind, you'll never communicate the same way again. By the way, if you really want to understand female psychology and discover the factors that make a woman feel attracted to you, I've created a comprehensive ebook where I explain everything step by step. You can find the link in the video description. Most men are terrified of one thing: saying exactly what they want. So instead, they soften it. They wrap it in uncertainty. Maybe we could hang out sometime. We should grab coffee if you're free. It sounds polite, but emotionally it lands like a whisper in a crowded room. She hears it and then immediately forgets it. Here's what's actually happening inside her mind. When a man speaks without direction, her brain subconsciously registers it as a lack of investment. Not rudeness, just invisibility. And invisibility is the one thing attraction cannot survive. Now watch what changes with 2 simple words. I want to take you out Saturday. There's a place I think you'll love. Same intention, completely different impact. One creates momentum, the other creates hesitation. And that difference isn't about confidence in the traditional sense. It's about clarity. A man who knows what he wants removes the emotional burden from her shoulders. She doesn't have to guess. She doesn't have to lead. And the moment she stops guessing, something shifts. That shift is attraction. Think about the men in your own life who seem to draw people toward them effortlessly. They're not necessarily the loudest or the most impressive, but they're always the clearest. They move with direction. They speak with intention. And women feel that energy before a single word is even processed. Here's the part most men completely miss. Expressing what you want isn't selfish, it's respectful. It tells her exactly where she stands. It gives her something real to respond to, instead of something vague to politely ignore. Replace every passive suggestion with a clear, grounded statement this week. Not forceful, not aggressive, just honest. Watch how differently people respond to a man who simply knows what he wants. Most men think a compliment lands when it sounds good. But here's what's actually happening inside her mind. She's not listening to the words, she's feeling whether they're real. Saying "you're beautiful" is forgotten within minutes. But telling a woman, "I appreciate how you stay composed when everything around you is chaotic," that stays. That replays. Because you didn't just notice her surface, you saw something she rarely gets credit for. This is where most men completely miss the mark. They pour energy into impressing, performing, saying the right things, when what she's actually craving is something far simpler. To be seen, not her appearance, not her achievements, her. The way she thinks, the way she moves through the world, the quiet things she never expects anyone to notice. When you express genuine appreciation with that kind of specificity, something shifts in her emotionally. It's not logic driving that shift. It's a deep neurological response to feeling understood. The brain literally releases reward signals when someone feels truly recognized. And in that moment, you become associated with that feeling. That association is everything. Because she won't remember every conversation, but she will remember exactly how she felt talking to you. And if that feeling was depth, if it was safety mixed with genuine curiosity, she starts seeking it out again. The key word there is genuine. Manufactured appreciation is obvious. Women are extraordinarily perceptive to emotional authenticity. So this only works when you're actually paying attention, actually present, actually curious about who she is beneath the conversation. Do that consistently, and you don't become someone she likes. You become someone she thinks about. And that's an entirely different category. Here's something most men never consider. She's not just listening to your words. She's reading everything else at the same time. Your tone, your posture, the slight hesitation before you speak. Women process all of it simultaneously. And when something doesn't match, her brain registers it immediately, even if she can't explain why. This is where most men silently destroy their own chances. They say the right words, but their body tells a completely different story. You can say, "I want to take you out," with a shaky voice, collapsed shoulders, and wandering eyes, and the message won't just fall flat. It'll actually work against you, because her brain interprets that mismatch as dishonesty, and trust begins to erode before the conversation even ends. Real confidence isn't loud, it's aligned. It's when every part of you is saying the same thing at the same time. Your words carry intention, your tone carries certainty, and your body carries stillness. That combination doesn't just communicate confidence. It creates safety, and safety is what makes a woman emotionally open up. Here's what alignment actually looks like in practice. Before you speak something meaningful, slow down slightly. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the ground beneath you. Then speak from that place, not from nervousness, not from performance, from presence. When you say something genuine, resist filling the silence immediately after. Let the moment breathe. That pause isn't awkward, it's powerful. It signals that you're comfortable enough not to chase her reaction. Train this daily. Stand in front of a mirror, say something you mean, and watch yourself. Notice where the tension lives. Then adjust until your body and your words feel like one unified message. Because women don't fall for what you say, they fall for how completely you mean it. If you find this topic interesting, you should know that in my ebook, I explain the 10 most important factors of female psychology that make a woman become more interested in a man. If you want to learn them all, you can find the ebook at the link in the description. Here's something most men never figure out. Attraction doesn't die because you said the wrong thing. It dies because everything you said felt exactly the same. Think about any conversation that genuinely pulled you in. It wasn't flat. It wasn't predictable. There were moments of laughter followed by sudden depth, lightness that shifted into sincerity without warning. That emotional shift, that contrast, is what the brain actually remembers. And what the brain remembers, the heart starts craving. So when you're talking to a woman, staying in one emotional gear the entire time is the silent killer. You can be funny, charming, even interesting, but if there's no variation, no unexpected moment of realness, you become comfortable, and comfortable is forgettable. This is where most men accidentally talk themselves out of attraction. They fill every gap, every pause, every silence gets buried under more words, more jokes, more explaining. But silence, placed at the right moment, does something words simply cannot. It creates weight. It gives her space to actually feel what you just said rather than just hear it. Say something meaningful, then stop. Hold eye contact. Let the moment exist. That stillness communicates more confidence than any sentence ever could. And underneath all of this is something even more powerful. Presence. Not the version where you're physically there while mentally rehearsing your next line. Real presence. Where you're genuinely experiencing the interaction instead of managing it. Women feel that difference instantly. When a man is truly present, there's a groundedness to him that's almost magnetic. He's not chasing a reaction. He's not performing. He's just there, fully. And that energy is something she hasn't felt in a long time. That's what makes you unforgettable. Everything comes back to this. Women don't fall for performances. They fall for presence. They fall for the man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to show it. Who sees her deeply enough to appreciate something real. Who doesn't drown every moment in noise, but instead lets silence do the heavy lifting. 2 words, endless impact. Start using them, not as a technique, but as an expression of who you actually are. That's when everything shifts. Now tell me in the comments, what topic do you want me to break down next? Because the next one might change everything for you. If you want to learn all the secrets of female psychology and truly understand what makes a woman feel attracted to you, you can get my complete ebook at the link in the description. There, I explain everything with clear and practical examples.